Hey, Barry, are you there? Hey,
I'm
Barry,
here now.
have you been here long?
No, I just got in.
Oh, good, because I just got in too.
I just got in.
What's up?
You up?
You got that right. I made 3 clips from some old ones, some old Zooms with John and Jeff.
That's great.
Those guys are so funny.
Yeah. I'm sitting in my garage by myself today. Last week I had a crowd in here.
I know. Too bad.
Yeah, we had a swell time last week. Before the Zoom meet and after the Zoom meet, we were going straight ahead with old stories.
Well, that's good. It's always fun to have friends around.
It was a lot of fun, and I can say that probably I know Danny for sure, but Danny and Mike are 2 of my closest, longest friends.
Yeah. Well, you used to travel to New York with Danny and Mike, I think, is your mentor, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. So they're my closest friends. So to spend the weekend with them, we went to dinner 3 times and lunch once and sat around here and shot the shit and went out, had a few drinks and all that, so we had a good time.
Great.
Mostly the 3 of us. Dottie tagged along a little bit, but mostly the 3 of us shooting the shit, talking about stuff that only we would enjoy anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, Dottie knows everybody. She's been around a long time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good old Dottie. I remember Dottie.
She's heard the stories.
I'm sure. So how are the kids doing? How are the grandkids doing?
Everybody's fine. We got my dad, who's been very sick with dementia and immobility. We got him to a nursing home this morning, and that's a good thing, even though it's a tough thing. So we got him in there. So today's his first day. My mother's over there right now. So we'll see how that goes tonight, his first night.
Yeah, I had to do that with my mom, and that's very tough. But at the same time, it makes you feel better because that's kind of where they belong. They know how to handle the people better.
Absolutely. Trying to get my dad dressed this morning, shave him and get him dressed was tough.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah. So, but is your mom in good mental shape?
Mentally, yes.
Yeah.
Hey, David.
Hey, Dave.
Hello, Barry. Hello, Tom.
How you doing?
Pretty good. I was just thinking that, us all getting around together, we should all be smoking cigars. And then I remember Barry. What do you have?
I am smoking a cigar.
Yeah,
I have a pretzel.
Oh, that's a pretzel. Shoot.
I never tried to smoke a pretzel.
I think I did one once when I was at the Mustache. Remember? Yeah, we had the pretzels there for.
Remember that for Oktoberfest?
Yeah, yeah, and the bratwurst or whatever it was. Yeah.
Remember we built that big structure right at the end of the service bar, in between the main bar. It was like a big structure, and they served bratwurst and stuff out of that booth.
Yeah,
it was like a big booth.
I guess. What's his name? Bob Osborne probably built that.
It didn't last long because it was out of place.
Mm-hmm.
I put a big structure, a 3 foot by 3 foot square booth right in the middle of the service bar and the regular bar.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Sidebar.
Yeah.
That's what we used to refer to as sidebar.
Yeah. So,
and then when I got to New York, they had what they called sidebar, but there's a little circular end at the bar. So
really?
Yeah, that was called sidebar. Yeah.
Now, where did they serve food? At that place? At the sidebar?
No, at your table. The waiter took the food order also.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. But it was a very limited menu. I mean, they had chicken fingers and hamburgers and cheeseburgers, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I
Russ
remember-
Adams used to do a good job in that kitchen back there. He put out some good bar food, even though it's
Really?
just chicken fingers and hamburgers
Uh,
and hot dogs, but it was good. It was good.
I seem to recall that that Fred had contemplated or started researching how we could have fit in a small kitchen, like back where the Buffalo was. I think that was where
Right.
the Buffalo, yeah. But
That would have been tough. There wasn't a lot of room.
yeah, maybe it would have caused us to remodel the bathrooms though too.
Well, I'll tell you what, there was less room in the New York club and they made it work.
Really? I'll
Yeah.
be darned.
And the New York club was oddly shaped. It was shaped like a triangle. The
Uh-huh.
club itself was shaped like a triangle, not the rectangle that we had.
Well, it's funny. I got to go to New York one time with on Joel's dime,
Right.
and I don't know why we didn't go to the club. I think it was all because it was mostly about going to his place in Connecticut.
Ah,
But I remember us driving through New York, and I want to say it was in the, ours was Rosie, in the Rosie Mobile, but I'm not positive about that.
well,
I'd have to ask-
I could tell you that it's when I first got up there, it was surprising how similar the two clubs were, New Orleans and New York. There's a,
Yeah, now we are.
Yeah. Yeah, we're here.
but it was a surprise. There was a lot of differences, but how many similarities? When you're in the club, it didn't matter. It was, to me, it didn't matter if it was New York or New Orleans. It was the same.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
know, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Billy,
Good morning.
Hello, Bill.
How y'all doing?
doing good.
Doing fine. Tom, you're probably gonna have to pull out the snow blower again, huh?
Oh, hell. I think it's going to miss us. I think we're going to have like 2 or 3 inches. That'll be fine.
Uh,
I hope it's not deep. I hate that deep stuff because it's fun the first day and then it just gets mucky.
Well, if it wouldn't be so bad if is it your homeowners that requires you to go?
No, it's because we have the apartment on the side of the house. And so because they're there, you have to do the driveway. And then the walk out front, that's just the city. They make sure
Oh.
that everybody does their walk because it is a pain when you're trying to walk the dog or something. And, like one person hasn't shoveled the snow and then it turns to ice and you fall on your ass.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good.
The snow gets deeper than NOLA too.
Yeah. Yeah. We have this little dog up the street called Altoid and it's got these short little legs and just disappears in the snow.
Altoid. Okay.
But yeah, I'm ready for it to be springtime. I like it when it's a little warmer.
I'll tell you what, today in New Orleans, it's what, almost 70 degrees out there.
Yeah, it's real
Yeah,
nice
I'd like to
outside.
be there and enjoy it, but
Clear blue too. It's
I'm sitting
beautiful.
in my garage with shorts and a t-shirt on and the door open outside. It's hot. I mean, it's warm.
good.
Wow.
I was
Good.
dressed with long pants and a long sleeve shirt. I said, Dottie, I can't take this. It's too friggin' hot.
Oh, shoot. Hey, Bill, I enjoy those pictures of the sunset that you and Bonnie post. from time to
Yeah,
time.
it's we try to get out there every day, around 5. And it's been setting a little bit later every day. Now it's up to 5:15 or 5:20 now. For a while it was like 5:04, 5. So,
Yeah.
but it's we enjoy doing that and then come back and have dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
nice. I went out there with them a couple times. It was fun.
Yeah, it's just, everybody's out walking their dogs, playing frisbee. All the kids are out. There's lots of area for the kids to run around and stuff and have swings under the trees and such, So we just like
I
to
wanted
go.
I wanted to buy one of those houses that face the lake back there.
Yeah. If you win the lottery, you can maybe get one.
Yeah.
They look like the St. Charles Avenue houses,
Yeah.
except more elevated because of the like the living area starts at about 15 feet, in those houses. I'm sure the insurance companies had something to say about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everybody's insurance is going up a lot because of all the disasters going on everywhere, not
Yep.
just the South.
In fact, you're talking about being hot. I'm going to get rid of this flannel shirt. I was outside with Bonnie where we're painting some stuff in the front yard since it's great weather for it, you know.
Should we do the strip song for you or?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Da, da,
Yeah, that's
da, 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 da.
I think when I win the lotto, I think maybe I'll get a condo where maybe like, where was the one that didn't you have one, or do you stayed at that one on St. Charles? And like,
Yeah, that was what do you call it? A
timeshare.
timeshare.
Yeah.
Man, after I looked up timeshares, my sister-in-law gave that to my wife, and it wasn't one of those kind of things that, oh, gee, this is great, because it isn't really a gift. You got to keep paying every year. And,
yeah.
you know, my sister, my Emily just said okay because she likes her sister, but geez, it was. We kept waiting because they got rid of it because they weren't going to it, but they had after Katrina, they had to pay like $30,000.
Oh my
Because
God.
everybody had to pay, you know, if something happens to the property, everybody has to pay.
Yeah.
So if you look up timeshares on Google, there are just people take out life insurance policies to pay for the like when you die, you don't get rid of the timeshare, your kids get it, which I can't really quite understand how you can set up a contract like that, because if a person dies, they're dead, and how can you throw it to their heirs? But man.
Yeah.
But
Well,
luckily,
I
this
heard-
one ended at 30 years, so we got out of it.
That's
I had heard that some of the mortgages, like in Europe and such, when people would buy a house or some property there, they could indebt their family for generations to pay for the house and such, you know. So
Uh, don't know, but don't want to be in debt.
no. Yeah.
But there
Well,
was just,
you know, you said you do make some, you do get some tips for your snow blowing.
yeah, like one lady gave us a loaf of bread that she had baked, and one guy gave us a bottle of wine. It's just good for the neighbors. Oh, but the first year I did it, I got the Golden Snowplow Award from Montgomery County.
That's great.
No, it's nice to see your neighbors. I like our neighborhood because it's everybody's close to the street, and you know, when you walk the dog, you talk to everybody, and I like that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, and they're appreciative too, you know.
Yeah, because it's so much easier for me to just take that snowblower and go up the sidewalk than it is for them to come out with their shovels and do it.
If there's somebody you don't like, you can go in their yard and blow their snow on their sidewalk.
Well, there's one guy that I do like. Emily kept telling me, no, don't go too far because we're going to get stuck. We're not going to. So I stopped. And then the next day I saw the guy and he goes, what did I do? You stopped before you got to you stopped like the house before mine. What did I do to you? And I said, was it me? Was it me? Emily was afraid we weren't going to make it. I know.
Did you tell him that he don't tip worth a damn? So
But then after we did this, some other people bought snowblowers on the street. So that's
Billy's still trying to hustle tips from 60, 50 years ago.
that's
yeah,
right.
Billy's giving them their change in his furry hat.
I still remember people who stiffed me, man. You know, some guy, you know, you're walking down the street, they don't know what the hell, you just go and you whack them in the back of the head, you know.
Well, I remember this guy.
You don't remember this, but this was February the 12th, 1973. No tip, bub.
I remember this guy who I'd been working maintenance at the Mustache. So I knew that those tables were 12 inches because we got 4 tables out of a 4x8 sheet of plywood. And this guy, for some reason, bets me $20 that it's not, you know, he says, how big is this? I said, 12 inches. No, it's not. I swear it's 12 inches. We get 4 out of a 4x8 sheet. Yeah, I bet you $20 it's not 12 inches. And I said, I said, really? I know. He goes, I said, okay, fine. Got a measure. They're 12 inches. I got $20. I said, great.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's when
Speaking of-
$20 was $20.
20
Yeah.
bucks. Yeah.
Hey, Snake.
Hey, Snake.
Hey, Snake.
Hello, Snake.
So
Yeah.
yesterday I went to a little sandwich shop and I got a hamburger on a bun, dressed just like a Burger King used to be, or still is. I don't know, a Whopper.
Mhm.
So I had a hamburger and a drink, and it cost $11. I was walking out, and I told Dottie, I said, I can remember when me and Danny were kids, we walk into Burger King, and the Whopper cost 45 cents, and the drink was 15.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like 70 cents for everything, and now it's $11.
Just for the hamburger.
Yeah, and I started thinking about tips. I mean, I still work for tips, playing music. I can tell you, if somebody doesn't put a 20 in, they cheat.
Yeah.
And I remember working as a waiter at the Mustache, and Arnold Palmer came in one night and tipped me $5. That was the biggest tip anybody could ever make in the world.
Yeah.
I was rich. A $5
Hey,
tip.
guys,
Hey, Rick.
$5
Hello,
tip. That
Rick.
was something.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Rick.
yeah, $5 was a week's worth of food back in the early 70s.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was at least 5 lucky dogs, man.
Oh, yum.
The Lucky Dogs were 45 cents when we worked at the
Oh,
Mustache.
that's true. Yeah, I was thinking they're yeah.
45
10 lucky
cents.
dogs.
I used to
Yeah.
go down to the corner of Conti and Bourbon. That guy, his name was Paul, the Lucky Dog guy. I walk out of work at the Mustache and get a Lucky Dog right there in Conti.
What was the name of that little grocery store right around the corner on Continental Bourbon that you could get great?
People. Yeah.
Love their poor boys. Go there all the time. Get,
Mr. Johnny.
Can you hear
Mr.
me?
Johnny was his name.
Hey, Snake.
Can you
I
hear
hear
me?
you.
Okay.
yeah, we can.
Believe it or not, 62 degrees yesterday and it's snowing like hell right now.
Wow.
Wow.
They say that there's a really very minuscule chance that we could get a few snow sprinkles on Sunday morning.
Right, I
Yeah.
read that.
Yeah.
If I could build a snow cell.
Yeah. That's right.
Well, Billy, I could load up the snow blower and start driving.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
can
looks like-
blow it out with a Wendy's straw.
How much y'all think to get tonight?
I don't know. There's probably a couple inches out there already. It just started about an hour ago.
Oh, goodness. David, aren't you supposed to get some maybe this weekend?
Yeah, they're talking about possibly, I think it's 30 or 40% chance tomorrow, and then like 100% chance on Sunday.
That's what I
Wow.
thought.
No, but what he meant was, you expecting to get some this weekend?
No chance of that.
That's-
That's a thing of the past.
Did I understand on the weather that your area up there between Knoxville and Asheville and all that to get up to 12 inches of rain? I mean, of
That's-
snow
They were saying that, but they gotta be meaning places that are,
in the mountains.
4,000 feet and higher.
Yeah.
But,
I
Wow.
don't know, Dave. They might get 12 inches there. You'll be out there with your dogs would be gone. Let's make some tunnels for them.
4,000 feet, we're already at 5 in the city.
5 degrees?
No,
Oh, 5 inches?
5
5 inches.
feet.
Oh, wow.
5 feet.
Feet.
Wow.
it's
Jeez.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
280 here
Wow.
Man.
in the elevation.
Yeah.
Well, Snake, did you get the link I sent you for the video for the Gmail drive? I mean, my Google Drive?
No, I didn't.
Huh, okay. I'll try sending it again.
Sounds good, thanks.
Okay.
Hey, Mike.
Hey,
Guys.
Mike,
Hey, Mike Johnson.
Hey, Mike.
That's me.
Happy New Year.
Hey, you too, man. How you doing?
Happy New Year.
Yeah, we haven't seen you for a while. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, I've been hiding. I've been in the mental institution, locked up in a padded cell. My head against the wall because I can't play. There's nowhere to play washboard anymore.
Played washboard for therapy, huh?
Yeah,
Hey, Tom, are you working any these days?
I'm trying. I got a job next week. And then I've been doing some editing on some Zoom things for some people, which is really kind of stupid, but they pay. So,
Yeah.
but not a lot, there's just not a lot going on. I had to turn down some work, like I had 2 galas that I turned down because there's just too many people. And
Yeah. It's too
but
dangerous to get around a big crowd.
yeah, especially at gala, because there's all these people standing around the tables and you're moving around and stuff. So I blew that off. But
Mhm.
yeah, I do what I can. But photographers and videographers aren't in too much need during a pandemic.
No. Are you going to do any Orpheus, Bill, or not this year?
No, I quit everything. I'm
Did you?
done. Yeah. Yeah.
Bill's retired. Bill's a man of leisure.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the COVID's kind of holding me back, but I like to go spend time with the grandkids, but they've both been sick since before Christmas. They were tested, they're negative, but, for COVID and for flu, but they chest colds, coughing and sneezing and sinuses. So I just been staying away from them because we take care of Bonnie's dad too. I don't want to bring, anything in, but I went out there today and they were doing a lot better, so.
Good.
That's good. That's
That's
good.
good.
They wear me out a little bit, but that's good. Oh, it looks like Chris might be back from Italy. Buongiorno.
Chris,
Still there?
I'm still in Italy.
I was wondering if you would tune in from there. That's great.
Well, it's pretty late here. It's 11 o'clock. So
Oh, wow.
Yeah, okay.
Jeez.
Okay, well, I'll put on the invitation. What city are you in?
I'm in Rome.
Okay,
Rome.
11
Roma.
p.m. Rome.
so what's the best Italian dish you've had so far?
I've been
Yeah.
doing all the cooking. Yesterday I made a macaroni al forno, a baked macaroni with anelli, which is little circular pastas, little round circles, anelli, and you make it with a meat sauce and cheese. And my grandsons went crazy. They
Sounds great.
they ate it up. Tonight we had a roasted chicken, and I made roasted potatoes. And for it's Shabbat, so it's Shabbat Shalom, and I made
Cool.
I made a challah bread, and we've been eating good. The food here is unbelievable. I go to the market every morning and pick up what I'm going to have, what I'm going to cook for that day, and that's how I do my shopping, one day at a time.
All fresh.
Wow. That
Could
sounds
you,
good.
could you keep from singing, wait till the sun shines Nelly while you're cooking the pasta Nelly?
That's right. And that
Sunshine Nelly. That's a good one, Billy.
Yeah, so how do you say Shabbat Shalom in Italian anyway?
Shabbat Shalom, I think they.
But with more
Italian.
fingers. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Look, I was playing at Fritzl's a few months ago, and that's down in the where Fritzl's is located. They have a lot of gay bars down there.
Yeah.
Two gay guys walked in, they sat right in the front row, and one of the guys, as a joke, Billy just reminded me, you know what he requested? He said, can you play Wait Till My Son Turns Nelly?
Oh,
That's terrible.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'd never heard that. I thought it was hilarious. I guess you have to have played and know the song,
Yeah,
Wait Till My Son Turns Nelly.
yeah.
so you're doing one night at Fritzl's?
Yeah, right now, one night at Fritzl's, and then I usually pick up one other night somewhere. So 2 nights a week.
Wednesday at
Basically
Fritzl's.
retired. Wednesday and whatever night it comes up.
Yeah.
And you know what? It keeps me involved with it. And they're all young guys I work with now. I'm the old guy. And you know what? It's a lot of fun. Just hanging out with them. It gives me a night to go down there and hang and cuss and hear what's going on,
And he introduced you as the only guy who's on the bandstand that was alive when they wrote those songs.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when the mustache burned down, as it was burning down, the owner of Fritzl's, his name was Dutch, he hired the mustache band on the spot as it was burning down. He came up to me and said, look, I'm Dutch, I own Fritzl's, will y'all come play? And we went over there and played. 2 nights later, the band was working,
Mm.
Yeah.
And anyway, they have a poster in Fritzl's, and and it says in Barry and the Banjo Band, because we were featured there. It's still hanging up at Fritzl's. And I point to it. I said, look at the date on that, 1975. They say, Barry, you're the longest term musician that's played here. I said, well, I hadn't played there since 75, but the first time I played there was
Yeah.
75. You know?
Wow, 75.
It's a while ago.
Yeah, just a few years ago.
So Chris, how long are you gonna stay in Rome?
I'll be here until March.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Oh,
Well, good
Yeah.
for you. That's good.
that
And
sounds
you have
fantastic.
family there. So you have family with you?
Well, my daughter lives across the hallway. Yeah, her apartment's right across the hallway with her husband, and they have 2 little boys. So I got my grandsons, and then my family comes in drips and drabs. My sister Pat is here already, and my brothers Joe and Chuck will be here in mid-February. My sister Pauline and my son and his wife are going to come and stay in my apartment for a week. So, you know, a lot of family. I mean, we all love it here.
that sounds great.
Can you
Yeah.
still
That sounds
do a
great.
lot of tourist stuff, like go to churches and stuff like that? Yeah.
No, I don't anymore.
Uh-huh.
Been there, done that.
Can you speak the language?
No, very little. I just have enough to order things in a restaurant and at a supermarket. You know, I can ask. You know, I want zucchinis.
Hey, I know that word.
Gugutza.
Guguts.
Gutska, yeah. Mastafazu.
My
Wow.
grandfather's from Italy. My great grandfather, before he died, he's from Italy, and he used to grow those gugutzas in his backyard.
Yeah.
Man, he loved them.
Well,
Yeah,
they got them
cool.
here, all different varieties. They got them with the flowers on them. They got little ones. They got big ones. It's amazing.
Yeah, New Orleans has a very big Italian population, you know.
Yeah.
Sicilian, yeah.
Yeah, in fact, we have the St. Patrick's Day parade, but then the week after that, we have the St. Joseph's parade. you
Right.
know.
March the 19th.
Yeah. And everybody makes their little St. Joseph's altars here with all the food. I don't know if you ever, I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of those, but they're astounding. You know, they're really
Oh, yeah.
a lot of food in those things.
Really
I
fantastic.
used to sit on them when I was a kid. You'd sit on them, you portray the saints and have to taste all the food. And they had me portraying one of the saints. Can you believe that shit?
Ah,
Yeah, you can actually visit these different people's houses and you can pick up all the food that they have out there. And we'd always like to go down and get our lucky beans.
Right.
Yeah. The beans. Yeah.
I'll see if I can get some pictures of that when it comes around this year. Send them to you. You know.
Okay, well, I made a couple of videos from some of the old shows, the old Zooms, and here's one from John, with John. Let's see if it works.
Because I went to the doctor yesterday, have a checkup, and she says everything's healing okay. And I said, well, why is it that I'm walking around and I still feel like someone kicked me in the nuts? She says, well, when we opened you up, we thought it was just gonna be a little 4-inch hole that we had to sew up, but it actually extended all the way down to your testicle. We had to scrape it out.
Excuse me, down to the what?
Yeah. I didn't want to hear that. I said, stop. Next time, don't say that or you get sued for malpractice. Never talk about a man's privates like that. And it's a woman doctor. I said, it's bad enough to let you see my privates. Don't talk about them. Well, I said to her, what can I do? I said, isn't there some kind of pants I could wear to support me for a while? She says, nah, don't bother that. She says, get a pair of socks, roll them up and put them in your underwear. I said, I've been doing that all my life. It doesn't make medical people. I'll never understand them.
That's a great clip. That's a great clip.
Yes, it
that's a
is.
good one. Nice going, Tom.
He was a character.
That was good, Tom. I
Yeah.
remember that. And look, we had Jeff and John on it just now.
Yeah, I got another one in a few minutes with Jeff talking more.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
leave
I
them
miss
out.
those guys. I miss those guys because they are so funny.
Yeah, they were.
Someday we'll be doing clips about you, Barry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this puts all the pressure on Barry and on Bill.
Yeah, that's right.
Tim Burton.
Hey,
Oh,
Kim.
Kim.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, Kim?
Not too bad, Mike, and you, or whoever the hell it was.
David,
Good to see
That was
you.
David.
Good to see you. Good to see
My
you.
pleasure.
What you got, green wrapper?
Mike, is it snowing in your part of town?
Not right now. Over on the west side of town, it was snowing a little bit this morning, but
A bunch.
yeah. But not right now. We haven't seen any in Aurora at all. And, we had that snow a couple of weeks ago that was fairly good, but nothing since then.
It's coming down real hard out here.
It is now?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're getting nothing, but that frequently happens.
Well, I was thinking about you last week when the snow, after the fire, the snow arrived. Did you avoid those guys? The fire and the snow?
Yeah. The fire is about 45 miles from my house.
It's about 10 for mine.
Yeah, it's up close to the People's Republic of Boulder.
Yeah.
Well, that's where Kent McBride is, in that area, but
He's in Arvada, which is probably about
Independent living.
3/4 of the way from my house to Boulder. And I haven't talked to Kent for a while. I don't know how he's doing these days. I know his wife's been really sick for a long time.
He's
with-
doing good. I talked to him last week
Oh, good.
for
Good.
like an hour. He's doing fine. Kathy's not doing that well, but
No.
he does what he can with that.
She's sure been hanging on with that for a long time. The Alzheimer's. It's been quite a while now.
Well, her body isn't fine. It's physically she's fine. It's
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the mental stuff.
that's a terrible disease. God.
it is.
And her brother has it even worse. So it's kind of in the family.
I think she had a sister that had it too, passed away from it, didn't she?
I didn't know about that, but
I think so. I could be wrong. Somebody I know had a sister, and I'm thinking Kent told me a couple of years ago that Kathy had a sister that had it and passed away from it, but
Really?
Oh,
Wow.
I don't know for sure.
So Kathy's not doing too well, huh, Tom? She's
it's just she forgets and she just acts like a really old person, and Kent has to stay around all the time. And
hey,
Hey,
Pete.
Pete.
Hey, Pete.
I remember it was years ago, Kent thought she had Alzheimer's, but it turned out to be something different.
She's got Alzheimer's now.
Yeah.
She does? Okay.
Kent and Kathy had 4 kids, and so they spend a lot of time with Kathy, and so where Kent can get away and do things too.
Good.
Yeah, it's a very tough disease, especially for
Yeah.
Kent.
Is it really Alzheimer's or is it some other form of dementia? Because Alzheimer's is just one of the causes.
Right. Yeah, because we thought my mom had Alzheimer's for a long time, but the doctor who diagnosed her with it, after he saw her like about 4 years later, a geriatric psychiatrist, says, it isn't Alzheimer's. She would have been dead by now,
Right.
based on how severe it was, because she was hallucinating and everything. It turned out it was her brain wasn't getting enough blood. There was like blockages that her heart just wasn't she had stenosis in the heart, and like it was less than 1/4 of a centimeter open. She just wasn't getting it, and they couldn't operate. So she just slowly, her brain just stopped getting blood, shriveled up.
Well, John talked about that. He said he had a vein in his neck that the doctor finally opened up, and he was feeling great because he was falling down and stuff. So
Yeah.
Right. I got CRS. Can't remember shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dad has dementia. We put him in a nursing home this morning.
Did you really?
Okay.
It's a tough thing. And half the time he thinks I'm his dad. Other
Yeah.
half I'm his son, but half the time he thinks I'm his dad.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I can tell you a little bit about it because we went through it with my mom. I was no longer her son. I was a friend or somebody she went to school with.
oh, yeah.
The doctor described it to me. It's like your brain, it's like a movie you were watching backwards. And he figured that she was, at the time she was making those things, she was in the 40s in her mind. And she wasn't married. She didn't know my dad. In her mind, she wasn't married, didn't have kids or anything, but she knew me. So I had to be from somewhere like in the 30s and early 40s, and so, and it just kept progressing until she passed,
Well, last week they came over to see if my dad would be eligible for this nursing home. It's a
Yeah.
memory type place.
Mhm.
And they sitting there asking him questions. They said, "What year were you born?" He said, "December 25th, 1927. That was correct. Said, "What year is it right now?" He said, 1942. This is last week, 1942. Then they said, "Who's the president of the United States?"
Roosevelt.
He said, "No."
Roosevelt. No.
They said, "Who's the president of the United States?" He said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't remember that asshole's name." And I'm trying to figure out if he was talking about the current president or the one in 1942, Roosevelt.
Wow.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's a tough thing, that dementia and so forth.
Now there's some things that went on at the mustache. I'd like to have dementia, short-term dementia anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
What happens on a mustache stays on the mustache, right?
that's right.
Yeah.
Well, here's Jeff talking about something. We'll see.
I live in independent living where the average age is 112. I'm considered young and healthy because I can breathe.
Well, the people I live in a condominium, and as soon as my wife died, the HOA come up and they said, "We just wanted to warn you, you're now considered a dangerous breed." I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "You can see, you have keys to a car, and you have money. Everyone's going to be after you." And sure enough, people started bringing me cake and coffee and stuff. And I'd never seen these women before.
It's the mustache, John.
My son is saying to me, "What's going on?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "Well, ask him to make," he's giving me orders to give him to make things because they're coming in and they're saying, "Anything you want, Mike, you just tell your father, he'll come and tell me." I said, "Michael, you want it? You go tell her."
Now enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Nah.
Enjoy it. When my first wife died,
Hey, Chris.
I said, "This is it. I'm finished. I'm finished." And all of a sudden, I realized, bring on the women. Because if I don't meet a woman, I'm done.
Let me
And
ask
for a
you
year, John, they were showing up. Some I wasn't even sure I knew. And it was the worst, absolute worst. I didn't think I could have a date as bad as I did. And then I met Lynn, and that was, son of a bitch, 40 years ago. And I knew her for 2 weeks before I asked her to marry me.
you
Why'd you
were
wait
Two
so long?
weeks.
Really?
2
that was
weeks.
when you were 38 at the time, right?
No, I was, hold it.
They
Yeah.
call him Jeff Loverboy.
Yes, I was
Loverboy.
39. I was 39, and I flew to New York to see my mother, who at that time I think was 112. Yeah, Pearl. And I said, "Mom, I don't understand this, but I met this girl 3 weeks ago, and I think I'm going to ask her to marry me." And my mother looked at me and said, "What took you so long? Quick, when you got breath, When you got breath, ask her.
But you were 38 then when you did that, and the excitement.
39.
39. I'm 77. There is no excitement. What
Yep.
do I? A girl is just a woman without pants. That's all.
All right. A little long, but
No, that was great. Yes.
That was
That's
fine.
right, it was good.
That was
Got a
fine.
great punchline.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
wow.
We sure
Right.
miss those guys, huh?
oh God, do we miss?
Yeah.
I'm afraid it's just going to get worse.
Unfortunately.
Well, nothing we can do about it.
Nope. That's the way-
I hope you're doing
My
that.
class-
Tom.
No, I'm sorry, I was looking for something. Okay.
Yeah, my class in college was 725 guys. We're down to 400 now.
Oh, goodness. Wow.
Yeah, we get a, I think I probably get an obit a week. It's really, really depressing.
Yeah.
That's why we gotta hurry up and have this reunion.
Yeah, well, we're not going to have it right away. Well, I'm hoping we can do it in the fall because if you haven't been following the newspapers, you know the Northeast is a hotbed. Although there are some promising signs that the curve seems to be turning down in New York and in Washington and Boston. But the level is still high. The hospitalization level, positivity rate, and all that stuff are still pretty high. In fact, my little village here has has declared an emergency, and everybody's got to wear masks when they go into stores and stuff like that. So we're not over it. The reunion, I hope we can do it in the fall.
Yeah, I hope it's clear by then.
Yeah, Marty's been in touch with the prospective venues, and nobody's willing to rent anything now.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
So we've got no place to have one.
Ooh.
So we're hoping this.
Why don't we do it with Zoom?
It wouldn't be the same, Pete.
No, you're right.
That photo you just had up there, Tom, that's the show band 1970, beginning of 72.
And that was Billy.
Was that
And that was,
Billy.
yeah.
The early part of 72, because that was the lineup right before I got there. I got there in fall of 72. And right before me, that was who was in it. I don't see it up there right now.
Oh, no, I've got the other one. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Where'd the other one go? Here it
That
is.
was Bob Adams leading the band,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
Christine on trombone. Both of those guys were there when I got there. Banu, Coit, Horry, and I can't remember the tuba player's name.
Yeah. I don't know why it keeps coming back to the same one. I was trying to put the other one back up there. Yeah, this is a more recent one than 72, I bet.
All I see is a blank screen.
Oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to, let's see. Oh, well. Let me start it over.
Well, I have one more of Jeff.
Okay.
So here's Jeff talking about parts of his body.
You never know. I mean, if you're talking, excuse me, Donnie. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Donnie.
My dick died 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It just died. It died. No, I had a very nice.
Did you have a service card?
Yes, I was going to say I had a very nice viewing. There was nice food. It was nice. And I said, I asked my doctor, I said, what do I do now? He said, does the word depend mean anything to you? Because that's all it's good. No,
I
he
gotta, I
tried
got,
to get me. He tried
Listen.
to get me. I'm sorry, ladies, but this is, when you
Put a
get
sock
to
in
our
it.
age,
It's
that's
the
all you
same
talk
thing.
about.
Put a sock in it. It's the same thing. Put a sock in your thing.
No. You put a sock,
I got
I'll put in a Hebrew national salami. This, no.
Oh, my God.
We have people here
Bonnie.
dating. We have people here dating who are older than dirt. They're older than dirt. They're holding hands. What the hell do I know what they're doing?
that way they don't fall over. That's why I hold.
You never know.
All right. I thought that was
Oh,
a
my
good one.
God.
They had a viewing.
Yeah, viewing.
You know, with nice food.
Only Jeff.
I like the banter with him and John Murata talking about.
Yeah. They were two characters, weren't they?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And I used to like when John Murata would talk about booking things for the old show band too, because I was never involved with any of that, so I found that all interesting too.
Oh, yeah.
And the dealings with the unions in different areas and such, you know.
Yeah, he seemed to work pretty hard at that.
Mhm.
He did. When I was with the show band for the few months I was with it, I mean, we were playing all the time. You know, I mean, they'd string out those gigs one after the other. And we'd get on a plane in New York City and head west and come back a week later and played every night in a different town every night.
Wow.
Wow.
Was that
Good
decent pay
times.
then?
You know what? I'm coming from a waiter to being in the show band. It was big time pay
Okay.
for me, you know. But when you look back, it wasn't that great, you know. We were salaried in the show band. I don't know. They might have been paying me $300 a week,
Yeah.
or $275 a week to do as many jobs as they could book. And look, I thought it was great, you know. A sideman at the Mustache in New Orleans was making $20-something a night.
Okay. Did that come up this time? Can y'all see anything?
Yeah.
That's it. That's the show band right before I entered the show band. Bob Adams on lead, all the way to our right. And Christine,
Dan Howard.
Dan Howard on tuba, and
Yeah.
Coy Horry on side banjo. I took his place. And of course, Banu in the middle. And Bob's an interesting guy. Bob, I would say he wasn't the greatest banjo player, but he was a good showman. He looked the part, and nobody could sing a song like him. He had the right voice.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion, you know,
You're
it's
right,
only
Barry.
my opinion, but he had a voice that could sing those old 1920 songs, and he could put them over. He really could.
He was a good front man.
Right.
Good showman, a good front man. He did a great job because we did a festival in Ohio for the Washboard Company from 2001 for about 10 years. And his band, Buffalo Ridge Jazz Band, was on it for all those 10 years. And it was a hell of a band. And I always liked the way Bob presented himself on stage and handled everything on stage. It was really good.
Yeah, he was good. He was my first band leader. You know?
I think we lost Rick.
Lost Rick? Okay.
Chris, are you back home?
No, I'm still in Rome.
Wow.
Good for you.
He's staying up late for us tonight.
Good for you.
And I'm fading fast.
Yeah.
There's a good crowd. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where were y'all for that one?
That was, I believe that was at the Eureka Springs Banjo Festival. Eureka Springs, Arkansas is a beautiful little town, and they had a banjo festival every year. And that's the year that band, which was a mustache band, but we called ourselves the New Orleans Crew. And we were the headliners that year of the festival.
Yeah.
Good.
That's probably about 10 years ago.
All right, let me find something else to put up.
Jim, are you working any?
Well, this COVID thing has killed a couple of gigs of mine, but I got some things booked for February. Hope it works.
That's an old shot from the balcony at your father's mustache on Bourbon Street.
Certainly
on
is.
Mardi Gras. That's Jolly Balls Roger in the front.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, he squeezed some people on that balcony too.
Yeah, it's a wonder it never fell down.
Yeah.
I remember that balcony. I remember standing on that thing, looking at the mob down below. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's this problem. It's real contagious, possible contagious, but it's not near as severe.
So what time is it now in there, Chris?
It's I don't know, about 11:30, I guess.
Yes, that's right. You're 6 hours, right?
Six hours, yeah.
8 hours from Denver.
What time do you get up to go to the market?
I don't go until about 11 o'clock.
That's
So,
not-
and it's like a 2-block walk. It's really close.
Nice.
There's a shot from the balcony of Mardi Gras.
Certainly is. Oh, boy.
And I love the guy in the suit. Somehow I think he must be European. And here's Billy back here in the headdress.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That was before I got plucked.
But that was so strange.
These days, that's a light crowd. These days, now, during Mardi Gras, you can't walk down Bourbon Street. You can't walk at all.
Yep.
What are they going to do this year?
Yeah.
I think it's.
I don't know. I'm not going down there.
How is COVID in Louisiana or New Orleans specifically? I really haven't read recently, so I don't know.
Well, the mayor kind of kept things under wraps in New Orleans pretty well, but it's as bad as anybody else right now. I mean, it's just so rampant. They went back to a mask mandate again yesterday or the day before. Yeah, any place indoors in New Orleans. So I guess that would mean it would carry through Mardi Gras, but in Mardi Gras, everybody wears a mask anyway. So yeah.
I'll tell you what, Wednesday night I worked at Fritzl's, and while they were checking vax cards at the door, once the people were in the club with a drink, there was no masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, it's hard to do. It's hard to police that once people are inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unlike on airplanes. Yeah. Yeah, how about up y'all still have any gigs up there again? I know you said you were playing a couple places lately.
Well, yeah, I had 2 canceled because of the COVID thing. But,
Oh, okay.
but I got a couple still on the books for February. But it's slow. It's slow to recover.
Yeah. And I wonder what the world's going to be like when this is all over.
It'll be different. It'll be different. Well, I think COVID's not going to go away. COVID's going to be with us forever, just like the flu and the common cold.
I think we'll have it under control at least.
And we're going to have to live with it. Yeah, there'll be vaccines and medications and things, but I hope people get over the anti-vax idea and accept the fact that you're going to have to get a shot to avoid this damn disease.
Oh, there's a good picture.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Was that from the 50th or was that from another
That's
reunion?
from the 50th.
That's from the 50th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember I said, it's time to play some music. And Mike, you were ready. And I
Yeah.
called H up in his hotel room. I called him, I said, H, get down here now. We need a trombone player. And that was the first music played at the 50th right there.
I believe it. I believe it.
Right
Hey,
there.
who has that picture? Is that you, Bill, or is it Tom?
I posted it, but I didn't take it up. I think
Bill could send it to you if you want it.
I'd
Yeah.
like a copy of that if somebody would send it to Mike@washboards.com.
Mike@washboards.com. Let me
Yeah,
write that down.
Mike, you and I look great. H looks a little peaked.
he looks a little out of it.
I remember, I think Bonnie and I had come in, we did a little quick tour, and then we went out, went up to the room and changed. And I came down to the lobby. I think Tom called me and said, come down to the bar and meet him and Kent. And the band was playing in the bar at the time, you know.
Yeah, that was fun. That, to me, that was more fun than the concert.
Oh, yeah.
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 Right there, what you're looking at was the start of the music. I remember that we started, me and Mike and H started it out.
Yeah, the bar was fun. The concert was work.
Yeah, you're right. The bar was a lot of fun.
Well, it was just fun to talk to everybody, and it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. No, it was, here's one.
All right.
I love it. I love it.
I like where'd you get your blowhards hat?
Handsome devil. Boy, aren't they?
Look how clean that vest is.
Blowhards means the beloved and loyal order of honorable and ancient Red Sox diehards of New York.
Okay.
That's playing a banjo made in Boston.
That's true. There was. That banjo was made in Boston. You're right.
Wow.
Huntington Avenue. I went there a couple of times. It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking at one right now on my desk, right in front of me. That's almost exactly like it, Jim.
Really?
Yeah, Vega Professional. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I got one 2 feet from me.
Yeah, was that what outside job was, or what job was
Oh.
that?
It must be 20 to 6 because Ira just showed up.
Hey, guys.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Ira.
Hello, Ira.
Hey, Ira,
Hey, Mike, you enjoying the snow?
what snow?
You don't have snow?
No,
Oh, you're sending it all over to the northeast.
well, it's snowing pretty good in the mountains, but we've had only 2 storms down here on the eastern part of the Denver area where I live. Of any significance, and that wasn't all that much, but as long as the mountains get a lot of snow for the skiers and we get some down here to help the trees and shrubs, that's the great thing. It's colder than hell here today. It's probably about 28 degrees out right now.
Well, I'm on,
28, 30 degrees where I'm at. And
I'm on the west side. It's snowing like the devil.
yeah, I'm on the east side and it's not snowing at all, not a drop.
Well, Gibbons going to see his share of snow soon.
Well, yeah, we had 7 inches of snow last Friday, and it's still on the ground because it's been cold. Tonight is going to go to 5 degrees, and the wind's going to blow about 35 miles an hour. So it's going to be wind chill's going to be about 5 below, 10 below.
Wow.
And all day tomorrow, it's not going to go out. It's not going to get out of the teens tomorrow.
Up where our cabin is in the mountains at 10,370 feet, there's been something like 40 inches of snow
Oh,
so
God.
far, and that's just kind of a start for the winter.
10,000 feet, man. That's way up. That's up there. Whoa.
Yeah, it's about St. Mary's Glacier. It's a little ways west of Denver, 9 miles up off I-70. 10,000 feet. It's pretty nice up there, but it can get. We don't use it in the wintertime. It gets pretty ugly up there in the winter.
I would think so.
Yeah.
Wow.
We had 62 yesterday and now snowing like hell.
You know, there's a picture of our cabin in a number of years ago in the mountains, and if I move away from it a little bit, you can see
Oh, that's good.
that's about 8 or 9 feet there at the highest point on the lower level.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess you must have snowmobiles up there too, huh?
No, we don't use it in the wintertime. It's too expensive to heat it. When we built that in the early 70s was that first oil crunch. And so we used a baseboard hot water heater, and it's awfully expensive to heat that damn place. And at the time, the windows were all single pane and things. So we use it in the spring, summer, and fall and get a lot of enjoyment out of it. But my family, we did most of the work on it ourselves. And the plumbing system, when we fired it up, there was something like 35 leaks in it. So we had to hire a professional plumber to come and fix all our bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it was nice. It was fun.
Do you winterize the thing or do you drain
Oh,
it?
yeah, we always shut everything down, drain the water and
Okay.
put antifreeze in the toilets and the sink P-traps and things. So, yeah.
Yeah,
And then just
I know
pretty much leave it.
I know the routine. Yeah.
So last week when I had Danny and Mike here in the garage,
Right.
we got into the discussion after the Zoom thing of who's the best trombone player the Mustache ever had? Who's the best tuba player? Who do you think is the best banjo player? Who's the best tune caller? Who's the best washboard player? Now you should have heard that discussion.
yeah, that probably went on for a week.
It could still be going on.
Yeah.
One thing I had two opinions. My favorite, my best washboard player, as far as the show goes, is Joe Terra.
Has to be Joe Terra.
My best washboard player, as far as the musicality of it, he's in this group right now, Mike Johnson.
Mike Johnson.
Thank you, Barry.
Yeah, and then we got into who's the best tune caller, and you know who I said? Herb Roselle, not a banjo player.
Yeah.
Herb Roselle was the best tune caller I ever heard.
Really?
I watched him manipulate, and that's the good term, manipulate that audience at the Red Garter. He was the best. He could change on a dime. He could be in the middle of one medley, read the audience and change to another medley. He could do that. I couldn't do that. Once I started a medley, I had to go through it and then start another medley.
Herb used to come and show up on these. Is he okay?
I don't know, but Herb was a wonderful tune caller for the Mustache. I don't know if y'all remember him calling tunes. Peter, I know you worked with him
Yeah, I like Les Muskets. He was a good tune caller.
Mm-hmm. And see, that was the argument we had last week. Not the argument, but the discussion. Plenty of times you have one or the other. Les Musket was a wonderful tune caller, but he wasn't the personality they were looking for.
That's true. Ronnie Basil was a wonderful tune caller. He could read an audience very well too.
And he was a good player. He had both of them,
Ronnie Basil had probably the best ears of any banjo player. If he heard it, he could play it. Basically.
Right.
He was very, very good at that. Didn't know the chord names, didn't read a note of music. We did a couple of jingle dates and I had to tell him what to do. And when those funny little signs on the paper came up,
Well, when I first started, my first band leader was Bob Adams, and that gave me a good foundation.
You bet.
I worked with Les Davies for a while, and I will tell you, when Mike Gentry got sent to New Orleans, Peter, you were there, you and I were there, David, you were there, a lot of y'all were there.
Yeah.
He brought something to New Orleans that we'd never seen. He was as close to the complete package. And I'm not saying that because he's my best friend and he became my mentor, but I said, that's what I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to be. So I modeled myself after Mike because that's what he was doing. And it seemed to work,
I never knew a lot of the guys like Ronnie Basil and some others, but of the banjo players I knew in the lead banjos, Mike Gentry was way high up there. Another guy that I always thought was really good, but he wasn't really well liked by too many people, was Wes Mix. he did a good job of fronting the band and calling tunes. And he had this kind of quirky, wacky personality that the audiences seemed to like a lot.
Then we got on a discussion, well, who's the best manager we ever had?
Go ahead.
No, we didn't do that. but the answer came up that Russ Adams probably was the best manager.
Russ. Good old Russ.
God.
Who was
Russ
the
was-
best banjo player?
I don't
Let's-
know.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know, I thought Ronnie Bill was a great banjo player.
Oh, he is. He is. Still is. He still is.
Yeah.
I was
But-
you.
But
was
again, that's
reflecting-
an example of one or the other. I played opposite him in Wildwood my first year. I had one band, he had the other band. And while I wasn't even close to, I couldn't even carry his picks. All right. But I went up there and did a show, whereas Ronnie was playing the banjo. You get it? And the crowd
Yep.
liked the show more.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, sure. That's right.
I
You know,
remember
I'm just
people
doing
used to
you
rave
asked me
about Johnny Ford, and he was, a very showy player, but he was not a band leader.
See, Les Muscat told me one time that Johnny Ford was the best he ever saw. That was his favorite. I saw Johnny. I got a good story about Johnny. I'd heard about him for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
When I was in Wildwood, New Jersey, they said he's playing down in Cape May at some club. So on my night off, I went down there and heard him play. And he was terrific. He wasn't doing a mustache show.
No,
but
no.
He was terrific. And he was selling these LP albums, the big ones we used to have, 33 and the third. And his album had a picture of him on it. So I bought one. He said, "You want me to sign it, Barry?" And he didn't know me well. He heard me play at the Red Garter. So would you like me to sign? I said, yeah. And he put, "To Barry, a good banjo player from the greatest, Johnny Ford."
Is that what he wrote?
That's what he wrote. I thought it was great. I
remember who Joe Terra told me he thought was the best tuba player.
Who's that?
Sam Palafian.
Well,
Sam was terrific. Yeah.
Well, Sam was a virtuoso. I mean, he could
Sam
play
was
anything.
terrific, but I tell you what, my favorite is Gannett. Mike Gannett, what's his name? Dave Gannett?
Dave.
Gannett, yeah.
Dave Gannett.
Did David Bargeron ever work at the Mustache?
Yes.
He did.
Dave, well, if you're talking about the best trombone player who ever played the Mustache, for simply a trombone player, it's probably David. Because David made a career of this thing and played absolutely everything. He's a virtuoso. He really is.
Who's that?
David Bargeron.
Oh, yeah.
He went on
Bargeron,
Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Bargeron left the Mustache to go with Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Right.
And if you Google them or go to YouTube and get some of the recordings that they did with Blood, Sweat, and Tears, they feature David a lot, both on tuba, because he plays tuba too, and trombone. And
There was a trombone player in New Orleans, Jim, who was really good. His name was Jimmy Heaslip. You ever heard of him?
Yeah. I worked with him.
Yeah.
I worked
Oh,
with him
he
quite a
came
bit.
up to New York. He was
Delightful
great.
guy.
He
Delightful
was
guy.
terrific.
Yeah,
Very sweet
poor,
man.
poor guy drank himself to death though.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, did you ever read his book? He wrote a book. He gave me one. It's a nice book. It's about his life and about his fall, with the booze and hitting bottom and then coming back and playing.
But then
Last
again,
time-
if it was about the show, you can't discount Sonny.
No, hell no. Sonny was great.
I mean, he was the best. If you take the whole total package, it'd have to be Sonny. Jeez.
Did
Sure.
any of you remember Kruger Nelson? Trombone
I
player?
remember.
Yeah, right. I remember him vaguely, but I do remember him.
But he was a jazz guy. I don't know if he.
That's right. That's right. Well, so is Borneman. Borneman is basically a jazz guy. I had to kind of keep him reined in to play all the simple stuff.
Right.
I always enjoyed hearing Charlie play. I liked his
I've
sound.
been some emails with Charlie in the last few days, and I asked him if he was still playing, and he said he's practicing a lot, but he's not playing professionally anymore.
Well, there's no work.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Barry, did you ever know a trumpet player that lived in New Orleans for a bunch of years named Tony Klatka?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a really good guy. He was on Blood, Sweat, and Tears at the same time as Dave Bargeron was. And
Right.
I'd been in a rock band with him in Fort Collins, Colorado in the 60s. Great player.
But if you're looking for the total package, I think Herb is the guy. I mean, Herb could play well. He can lead. He can read the audience. You know, I mean, I'm sorry he's not here, but I'm a big fan of his. You know,
There's
the
been some great,
mustache stuff.
yeah, there's been some great trombone players went through the mustache. Like a few of them that stick out of my mind are like Neil DeFeo and Steve Yoakum and
Oh, yeah.
and, Harold Johnson and a whole bunch of others.
And I tell you what, for the last few years in New Orleans, we had a black trombone player named Maynard Chatter.
Maynard. Yeah, he's another good
He
one.
might not have been the best, but he brought a whole different dimension to mustache trombone playing. He put some soul in it, or whatever you want to call it, rhythm and blues, and it worked. And nobody would ever think it would work, but Peter, tell him.
Yeah. Very good.
You know,
Well, Freddie Lonzo was good too.
Yeah.
Freddie Lonzo went on to be, right now, he's one of the preeminent jazz trombonists in town. I mean, you know,
Good for him.
started at the mustache. Ben Smith went on with the Dukes of Dixieland, and he was a mustache guy.
Mhm.
You know, Jimmy Heaslip ended with Pete Fountain, mustache guy. So the mustache was a big time training ground for all those guys that went on to jazz fame. You know,
Well, Borneman, I remember the night Borneman quit the mustache. I said, Charlie, what are you doing to me? Because he was working with me a lot. And he said, I got this offer I couldn't refuse, because he went with the Dukes of Dixieland.
right,
Yeah,
right, yeah.
it was funny.
Wasn't Danny with the Dukes of Dixieland for a while, Barry?
Danny did 10 years with the Dukes of Dixieland.
Interesting.
10 years with them, and that's back when Frank Trapani and all those guys were in the Dukes, and Otis, and it was a really good band.
Yes.
Really good band.
Did he play drums with them for a while, Barry?
Say what now?
Did Danny play drums with them for a while?
No, no.
Okay. I'm
He played
thinking of
too.
somebody that played drums with the Dukes for a while. That was part of the mustache thing, but I can't remember for sure who it was.
And when Danny worked with him in the 80s, that's when the Dukes were doing all these tours and playing with symphony orchestras. You know, they'd have, you know, Boston Pops type thing, you know, but they had charts, and they go to different cities around the world and do their concert with the orchestra in the back, you know?
Cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of symphonies, it makes me think of Neil Tidwell filling in on tuba at the Mustache in New Orleans. Did he play
Yeah.
anywhere else besides New Orleans? Neil Tidwell?
Neil Tidwell, I would say of any tuba player I worked with, he had the best tone.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he played with the New Orleans Philharmonic, and then
Yeah.
I don't know if he was moonlighting at the Mustache or moonlighting at the Philharmonic. But yeah.
Now, he would come to the mustache after the concerts, after the symphony
Yeah.
concerts.
Yeah. But I can remember him one time doing 12th Street Rag solo on the tuba. It was incredible, you know.
Peter was close with him, weren't you, Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd hang out.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Neil one time after the Mustache burned down. He was playing at Tulane University. I was videoing something out there, and he was in an ensemble that was playing. Yeah, but and then I heard he passed away. So
Yeah, it's a shame he passed away young,
yeah,
real young. But he was a terrific musician.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
You guys, I need to go.
all
Okay,
right,
Pete.
Peter.
Yeah.
See you later.
Take care, man.
Bye-bye. Bye all.
Bye, everybody. I'm going to check out too.
Hey, we
Okay,
got
go to sleep.
Gotta go so Chris can go to bed.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's about 4 hours past your bedtime, isn't it, Chris?
It is.
12 o'clock now.
How
Well,
much
enjoy
keynote
Rome,
did
man.
you have today?
But it's really good to see you guys, and thanks.
You too.
See you next
Absolutely.
week, Chris.
Yes.
I hope so.
Be
You'll
well.
be there.
Take
All
care, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Bill.
No problem, Dave. See you
Yeah,
next week.
thanks, guys.
All right,
We're
Mike.
continuing
Hope you
this.
come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Barry and Snake and Mike and Gim.
Yep. Well, I
Okay.
gotta go fire up the grill. So I
Okay,
gotta
catch you next week.
I'll see you
All right,
next
have a
week.
good
next
one,
week,
y'all.
yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
See you
guys.
next week.
See you later. Bye,
Take
Billy.
care.
Yeah, I'll send
Thanks,
that to
Barry.
you, Mike.